are big moves happening right now that are directly going to impact your future standard of living, your kids' future standard of living. I'm a monetary analyst, and it is literally my job to study what comes next for the dollar based on patterns. And right now, what the US is doing by intervening in Japan's currency market tells us everything we need to know about the future of the dollar and what's coming next for all of us here in the US. In fact, not just the US, but globally, and most people have no idea. In case you missed it, the US has intervened in Japan's currency market, buying up their yen to prop up the currency. Now, before you say, that's a Japan problem, this directly impacts your wallet here at home. The official messaging we've been given is, we're being a good neighbor, we're helping Japan. But the truth is that Japan is the largest foreign holder of US debt. Meaning that if Japan needed to raise some cash, what are they going to sell? They're going to sell their US treasuries, US debt. But that's bad news for the US, who already is sitting at about $40 trillion in debt with no signs of slowing. Meaning the US needs more buyers, not less. Not only would we lose our largest buyer, but on top of that, there'd be a flood of US debt in the market, meaning it would be harder for the US to continue to issue new debt. And the reason why this time is different, it's not just, the mountain of debt in the US again, is that the interest on the US debt is the highest it's ever been. So the US stepping in to help, make no mistake, it's not to help Japan, it's to help the US. It's self-serving. But the problem is, it's like putting a Band-Aid on the bottom of a leaking boat. It is a very short-term temporary fix. Essentially, the US just bought more time, but what happens when that time runs out? That's where we're going to see the Federal Reserve step in, a big print coming, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. And when we print a ton of new currency, what happens to the existing value of the dollars in your wallet? We're heading towards rapid inflation. Anyone who thinks, this would never happen to the US, the only reason you think that is because we are the global reserve currency. But if nations don't trust the dollar and they don't trust the treasuries and they start to sell off, at what point do we lose that status? It's the last piece of the dam holding things in place, and it's getting dangerously close to breaking, and this shows us just how serious it is.
The AI bubble is about to burst, which means, and this is really important, they're about to engineer a financial crisis in America, right? They're about to pop the bubble, in which case people's attention turn away from the war in Iran and towards economic collapse around the world. And so that's what we'll be talking about in a year's time. How in a year's time, you have massive unemployment. You have stock market collapse around the world. You'll have companies going bankrupt. It'll be very expensive to fly. There'll be energy lockdowns all around the world. And that, I think, will be the big story of 2027.